Nah. Spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert. People. Joel Benjamin 528 aka Big Money Benjamin. If your ass haven't seen the Joker movie yet, too bad for you. Okay? I'm just gonna tell you like it is. These movies that's epic and supposed to go out and see. I'll talk about y'all comic book fans and y'all this fan and y'all that fan, and y'all ain't go see the movie yet. Miss me with all that. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic audience. Let's get it in. This is not gonna be long. It's really not. But I know I had to talk about it. I want to give the real breakdown. Now, when you watch the Joker movie, first off, let's talk about a comedian. Okay? Because Joker was one of them dudes that was, how you say, a joker. He wanted to be a comedian. You get what I'm saying? This movie is in a total DC type of universe. It's totally standalone movie. For y'all don't understand DC Comics always dealt with alternate universes, yada yada yada. Now, Arthur Fleck, I believe is the Joker name. They showed a very good origin story, and basically, in this era, they show how people could transform not just through mental illness but bullying. It shows when people are going through a certain disarray in their life, how they could change. And let me tell you something, boy, the Joker turned up quick on their ass. Okay? It was like hot flames in their ass and in the look he had. It shows how when people turn their back on certain individuals, how a next alter ego will take over to substitute them having a better life, to substitute them being able to cope with the trauma, to substitute them creating a protective barrier for them so they don't have to go through that type of trauma again. Now, um, I'm seeing the people up on here. I Macy said he was pushed to the edge. Oh no, he wasn't just pushed to the edge. He was thrown over the edge. Okay, so when you notice with comedians, comedians are meant to say jokes that people don't expect to be funny. But when you hear it, they take a bad situation and turn it funny. So Joker was going through the mental illness and all this stuff, the child abuse, and he didn't even remember he went through the child abuse. Down to his laugh. His laugh was a mental condition. It wasn't like, oh, he just wanted to laugh. It was a mental condition. I'm really not going to give a whole bunch of spoilers in this movie. I'm just going to focus particularly on the Joker, the character itself, because people don't understand this is how entities tend to take over a person. This is how entities tend to creep in. When you see what this man went through, and then how he ended up turning up, because, oh, he turned up real quick, extremely quick, because he was on like 7 different medications. Okay, about 7. And then they took him off of it. And that's when everything's really, stuff already started going haywire before that. Okay, it really did. But what really exposed him to be who he actually was and supposed to be is when he came off that medication. All right. So it had an entity within him, which we all have in us. Do not make it any quarrels, any arguments. Don't get it twisted. We all have that side of us. Some of us are pushed more to the edge than others. Some of us, it takes a long time to be pushed to that particular edge. So you'll learn. Everybody talk about everything is all haywire and cloudy. Some people didn't understand the movie. I don't know how you couldn't understand it. It was very simple. It was very, very simple. And it showed excuse me. It showed the violent, the extremely violent nature which he had to take to create that trauma barrier. That's what I call it, a trauma barrier. When no trauma is allowed to get in. It's where the alter ego, if you want to say, or the entity, which is better off said, takes over. You take a back seat. You are no longer qualified to handle this vessel. Fall back. Fall back. I got this. I got this. I remember one time going into deeper into my spirituality, and this is where I got to learn where Star Wars come up with the dark side and the side with the light, the Jedi Knights and the Sith Lords. This is where I got to learn, like, wait a minute, let me look more into George Lucas films and come to find out that's exactly what it was. So so when I realized I had this dream vision, whatever you want to call it, with my good side wrestling my bad side. Hold on, people. Those are going live. Hold. Yes, people. So back. I'm back. So as I was saying, I literally sat back. I even made a rap out of it, and I literally watched my good side battle my bad side. I thought I was the only one that went through that before. When you watch the movie, you get to see and realize the Joker, Arthur Fleck, is doing the same damn thing. You notice he's doing the same thing. He's forced to wrestle with that entity that's trying to take over, but he couldn't hide it or fight it no more. Everything he noticed, everything, the majority was a lie. What he thought with his mother, I don't really want to go too deep into that, spoil that for you. But it showed that she had mental problems. The crazy part of that I'm gonna save that for you. But the crazy part is this movie showed a lot of mental illness, and some people say, well, that's the history of the Caucasoid. Okay, very interesting. People will say that because when you watch how Gotham was turning up, and I mean they were turning all the way up, down to where they couldn't even get them to take out the garbage, where they had the super rats. Every now and again you were seeing the super rats in the movie, and I was like, yo, gosh damn, super rats, really? But that was in there for a reason, and it showed the distance, how far apart the poor is from the rich, and got to see why Bruce Wayne father was hated and the other rich people. They get to show the chaos that jumped off. Like there's one part in the movie where Joker says, I'm tired. Yes, I murked. Basically, I'm paraphrasing, so I don't want to spoil it all the way for you. Yes, I murked these people. I did them dirty, got rid of them, and I enjoyed it. I'm tired of feeling like I don't enjoy it. Okay? That spirit came out and it was like, yo, I'm here. He changed, started the dancing, down to Joaquin Phoenix. That's the actor that played Joker. Now, if you know about that family, now this is where y'all gonna say I'm getting spooky. They've been on some esoteric stuff. See, people just gonna focus on the Joker. No, I'm gonna focus on the actor that played the Joker. Joaquin Phoenix, who's brother of River Phoenix. And if you check, River Phoenix was a big actor, young actor back in the days, and he died. You go look up how he died. I'm not even going to touch on that. That family, the way how they able to ingest the character and play the role, and Joaquin Phoenix himself been known for doing that. When you see how skinny this man got, his collarbone, people think that it was enhanced. No, they didn't do none of that. His stomach with his ribs touching in. And if you're a big fan of DC Comics, or if you know anything about DC Comics, the Joker, if you play the video games, watch the cartoons, just the movement he was doing with his hands like this, just he nailed it. He nailed it. If anything, it is Oscar worthy. And I mean Oscar worthy. I really feel he's gonna get an Oscar. Everybody, I thought nobody could have did it like Heath Ledger when he played Joker until I seen this movie. The only person that I think that I feel could come close to playing an awesome Joker is Jim Carrey. And we've seen how he turned up in the mask. So, and then he played in what I think it was 21, 22, 27. I don't remember the name of the movie. It was something with a number, somewhere around there in the 20s. I remember that movie. Because that movie, he also had psychological problems. So when you see these people in the street and you know they have psychological problems, these are people that have entities on them. A lot of times, these are people that went through a trauma. Sometimes it's people doing wickedness against them. But a lot of times they went through a trauma. So now that next side kicks in, that next side takes over. Okay? You have certain errors that happen astrologically or astrologically, if you want to say. Okay? So all this happens in a time frame where there's a lot of chaos going on. And being that they brought this movie out around the time they brought it out says a lot to me. It says a lot because they show you this dude been abused as a child. This dude been picked on, bullied all his life. And at some point, there is going to become a paradigm shift within that person's mind where they hit the snapping point. Donna Watkins, Johnny Depp. You know what? I didn't even think about Johnny Depp until you now said it. Yes, Johnny Depp, I believe, could play that role. But Joaquin Phoenix, I'm talking about the weight this man lost. Like he really looked like the Joker. When you started seeing his transformation of what he did and how he did it. Come on. Come on. Who's this? I Macy said his spine was sticking out. Yes, the man literally starved himself to capture that Joker essence. It was a visual masterpiece, this movie. And I really could spoil it for y'all. I could go in on spoiling it. Woo! Joker had that 38 revolver. Was he not busting his gun, Devontae? Devontae. Oh, you on the phone, my bad. Because Devontae saw the movie. Oh, okay, got you. Devontae saw the movie. Oh, Joker was busting his gun. Joker, oh, I like the part where he turned up and he didn't give a fluck. He was just on some. This is what it is. The funniest part in the movie is with the what they call little person, dwarf, midget, whatever the politically correct term is. I don't know. Forgive me. I'm just saying you know. But Joker was giving it up hardcore. He was not playing because he realized if you even know anything about the Joker, let's really think back. Who's to say Joker is really the villain? Huh? If you ever study the Batman DC comics where Joker is involved, Joker was getting at the bad guys too. Joker was killing the bad guys. Remember the last Joker movie? The one with the not this last one, the one before that I should say. The one with Heath Ledger. He had a problem with the establishment of the criminal underground. And he let them know this is what it is. Get down or lay down. Joker was a person that believed the world is in chaos and you have to get order out of it. Does that sound familiar? Let me see if y'all gonna guess. Where does that come from? Order out of chaos. Okay? When you see the Joker is known as the court jester. And there's a story where you learn about the court jester, the kings, the knights, and everything. But everybody feels since the Joker, the court jester, joke around that they don't turn up. They think that they're not harmful. And the Joker, the court jester, ends up taking over the kingdom. Okay? That's real. I see somebody agree with me. I may see. Okay, Illuminati. There you go, Mr. Knowledge 13. Exactly. Order out of chaos. That's the Illuminati slogan. Necessary evil. This guy says yes. This guy TM. He was a necessary evil. And people don't want to face the fact of that. Some people will call Trump a necessary evil. I Macy says Joker isn't the villain. Facts. If you really study it, who's to say Joker is the villain? Like he said in the movie, society controls y'all. Society tells y'all what's funny and what's not. Isn't that going on today with this whole reality TV? What they say, the whole fashion. They have the R&B singers, the Beyoncés, they have the rappers, the Jay-Z, to let you feel this is what's cool. So when you see them in this, you have to know this is cool, this is what you need to get. Come on now. Legacy 69 says, I am the only one who thought that mentally ill dude who what? Who blacked out on who blacked out in Chinatown switch was flipped on. Huh. I get what you're saying. Hold on, that's for me. Let them know I'm live. What they need.
Okay, she just bought 2 bags of sea moss from Miss T. Just a quick shout out, let her know we appreciate her service with us, and she is about to do the 21-day press cycle next.
Facts. Shout out to Miss T. Gang, gang, gang. Um, yeah. So Joker had that mental illness. The mental illness was due from him being highly abused. Ah, that's a good one. I didn't think about that. Southern Soul Food says, sound like the Monkey King of Chaos. That's a good one. Hanuman, very tricksy, very playful, but could grow big and crush your ass if you mess with him too much. Yes, I like that one. I like that one. That's a good one. I didn't even think about that. See, that's why I like when y'all chime in. Um, Beautiful Amma says, did anyone notice the lump on his shoulder? R, yes. His right shoulder had that lump. That man did that to himself. He literally did the Joker exactly to the T. To the T. And it shows his progress of the Joker coming out, especially with his love interest. He started tripping out and didn't even realize he was tripping out. Because as you watch the movie, you're like, yo, why is she acting like that? Around this certain point of the movie. Living Legacy 69 says last Joker movie came out. There was the movie Theater Massacre. Yes. And now we go and see a lot of reports of mentally ill people in manic states. First off, it was already happening. This was already happening. Remember when people was going around in the clown mask, looking to scare people, doing crazy stuff? It didn't stop. It was still going on. They don't need this movie to kick it off for it to happen. The mental illness bin was happening. There's a lot of mental illness out there, and a lot of it have to deal with a spiritual aspect. So when you watch this Joker movie, you get a better understanding. You see that demon come out, or angel, however you want to put it. You see that comes out, and you see how he moves.
It's the right one. I mentioned.
You see how his whole thing with being cheerful have a sadistic nature to it, but that's because he was created out of chaos. So once he was created out of chaos, he was able to do the necessary deeds that he had to do. Because when you really check it out in the movie, did he really started harming innocent people? His whole thing is you get what you deserve. When you really pay attention to the movie, it was people that actually messed with him and did him dirty. Real talk. Um, BNB turned the night turned my night off into a movie night. You did. Oh man. Let me see. Okay. So yeah. Salute to the international audience and the domestic and all the people now joining in. Like I said, I'm not gonna be on here long. I'm just touching on that Joker movie, giving you a different perspective on it, because everybody just want to look at him as the villain. And it's a reason why he's considered a mastermind villain. If anybody know anything about the Joker, once again, and you into the comic book or the cartoons, you see he had one point where he's kicking Superman's ass, just flinging him around, just taking the kryptonite, just busting him his head. Boom! Hold that, and laughing the whole time about it, beating Superman down. And we know Superman is the strongest out of all of them. But when you study who are the people to give Superman a challenge, human, humans. Not to talk about Dark Side or Dark Side, however you want to pronounce his name. Okay? Because they say Dark Side, but it's really, when you read it, it's really Dark Side. Okay? The old mech looking figure, not him. Talk about human, people that are human. Because Joker had to tap into the dark side to defeat higher forces. The only two people that's able to, the humans that you know of, that's able to defeat Superman is Batman and the Joker. And what did Batman had to tap into to become the Batman? That same dark side. Hmm. Where's that verse in the Bible? I will give ye the treasures of darkness in all the hidden places thereof. Let's pull it up. Because a lot of people be like, why would God say he will give you the treasures of darkness? Because it's a power. It is a force for you to conquer and take over individuals and certain things. That's why when you go higher and deeper and tap into your spirituality, that's why they say be careful of the certain symbols and the different things that you get into, because it could send you crazy. Hello, real talk. We don't know this by now. And when you learn the origin of the Joker's story, that's exactly what happened. I Macy says the dance after he caught them bodies.
I was about to say the same thing too.
Yo, that was the duppy dance.
Both of them coming up and down the
That
stairs.
was the duppy dance. You understand? When you see the full Joker take effect and he's coming down them long ass steps. At first I thought it was the Bronx. It looked like a part that's in the Bronx. But I believe that was Queens. Because the film was shot different places. It was shot in New Jersey, it was shot in Brooklyn, it was shot in Queens, different areas of the movie. When you see Joker and the cops, before the cops get to him, and you see him coming down the steps and he's doing all this movement and he's dancing and he's into himself, that's a symbolization of him descending into the dark side, where he was able to become an influencer. The entity was spreading, where people was like, yeah, those rich snobs deserve to die. They were doing grimy stuff. They figured because they got money, they could do whatever and get away with it. He was descending with Babanu. We just spoke on. Watch the last live stream we did with Babanu when they talk about the I Ching or I Chi, the 40th I Chi, where it dealt with forgiveness. And there's what 60, I believe it's 68 or it's 62 to 68. I can't remember offhand right now. Of the I Chi. And when you learn about the one dealing with laughter and joy, you will have a different perspective on what's going on. Let me see what y'all got to say. Who's seen this Joker movie? Yep, Bruce Wayne had a mental illness too, of course, because he went through a trauma watching his father and mother die in front of him. They had to tap, they had to tap into the dark side. When you watch all the villains, first off, Marvel got great superheroes. But DC by far have the ultimate best villains. Remember, DC and Marvel used to be one comic book at first. They split ways. Stanley went his way, he kept the heroes. The other dude from DC went the other way and kept the villains. Ah, y'all ain't know that. Think about it. Why you think they could make stuff like Batman versus the Hulk or Superman versus the Hulk? Every now and again they'll come together and collaborate. But when you check, even with the superheroes, they went through some type of trauma the majority of the time. So they're letting you know to tap into that God energy, it takes a level of trauma. But if you go deeper than that, I want to talk about something called the Monarch Project. Look it up. I spoke about it before. Check out the Monarch Project. With the Monarch. Damn, he mad loud for like no reason. Well, you check out the Monarch Project. Yeah, uh-huh. When you check out the Monarch Project, you will see they were dealing in mind control. Okay, check out the Manhattan Project. I'm giving you everything so you could deal with. Check out Project Paperclip.
Right.
Okay? A matter of fact, and 2 movies touched on this very well. Manchurian Candidate
Right.
and the Bourne series. The Bourne Ultimatum, the Bourne Supremacy, the whole Bourne series touched on that. Why you think they were so good? Why you think they were so great and kicking ass? Why you think they were masterminds? Because they had to put them into that dark state. Tippy, you just saw the Batman, the Joker movie. Perfect. Hope you didn't see it on bootleg. You was watching that bootleg? I know some of y'all watch that bootleg. I know that for a fact. Okay? Yeah, KT got to do it, decoded on it. Yes, definitely. Salute to KT, the arch degree. Hell, if you want, we could even team up on that. Living Legacy 69. Let's get it. Okay, we could get it. Now let's get into the revolver. Let's get into the revolver. That gun that gave him not the power he needed. Because, he was bad without it. That was just his start of jump off point. Joker is way more violent than that. That's why he liked to use knives. A lot of time, Joker will use knives because he's up close personally. You want to see that gore. Very rare you'll see Joker use a gun. But it was a 38 revolver, wasn't it, Devontae? Was he not turning up?
He did.
He was turning up like, pow, pow, hold that, pow. One of the 2 funniest scenes to me, I told you, with the dwarf, midget, little person, however the politically correct term is. But the funniest scene is when the dude got that shot in his ass. And the one dude that was trying to get away from the Joker, as the train was closing, he was like this, waiting for the train to close in time to try to run out. I'm not going to spoil the scene for y'all. I'm really not. You just got to see it yourself. Me talking about it is doing no justice. But he had to jump into that dark side. He would not be who he was if he didn't go to the trauma and jump into the dark side. He ended up becoming a necessary evil. Why you think the Joker never wanted to kill Batman? If even in the movie before this, you learn about Joker saying what? He's telling Batman, yo, you're just like me, the one with Heath Ledger. He's like, yo, they not like us. We're the strong, bro. They're the weak. They're supposed to basically, I'm paraphrasing, but he was letting Batman know they're supposed to be bowing down to us. Same thing they did in the Marvel movie with Spider-Man, the first Spider-Man movie that came out with where they was showing with the Green Goblin, where he tied up Spider-Man. He had a chance to kill Spider-Man. He was like, yo, you need to join me, man. Like, yo, why you keep fighting me, bro? He let Spider-Man know, like, yo, the rest of people ain't like us. And Green Goblin was rich. The human, well, not human form, because he was human. The outside of his villain costume, he was a rich man. Most of the time, you see the people that are rich, they're the heroes. Norman Osborn was a rich supervillain. Kicking Spider-Man ass, could have been out his lights a long time ago, but he spared him. Same with the Joker series. Anytime a villain was about to kill Batman, Joker would step in. Okay? It had an episode that was so funny. It had a regular dude that they thought killed Joker. This dude wasn't even like a bad, like this mean type of person. And Joker was giving him hell. Joker was like, yo, you took my man away from me, yo. He's my man's. I mean, we have our fights and whatnot, but he cool. Joker had plenty of times to kill Batman. Never did. And when you learn and watching the movies, he's always like, yo, you're like me. Like we tapped into this dark side. We have a bond. Why you're trying to spoil that bond? We both been through trauma. Our next movie that touched on that was the movie Split, okay, which is a trilogy of the M. Night Shyamalan series, Unbreakable. Then it's Split, and then the last part is Glass. Glass was a supervillain. The one that was known as the Horde was a supervillain too, and they all went through trauma. So Split, when he had the split personality, remember when he was going to kill that girl, he started bending the iron bars, and then he finally seen that she was scarred. She was being abused by her father, stepfather, one of them, and molested. And he was like, oh, you know what it is. You're just basically, you're like me, you're one of us. And that's what saved the ass. Because even when she shot him with the shotgun. So I'm giving you an example. Let me see. This guy TM says that is true, and Spider-Man suffered trauma too. Exactly. It is all trauma based. That's why when you learn about Project, let me show you this. Let me just show you Project Mockingbird. Let me pull this up before I go. Project Mockingbird, because I know some of y'all lazy asses not gonna look it up. Okay. I know some of y'all lazy asses ain't gonna look it up. See now, jump to Project Mockingbird, and they got Operation Mockingbird. Is Operation Project Mockingbird? Jump to wait. Let me give you the proper. Project Mockingbird, also known as Operation Mockingbird, is an alleged large-scale program of the United States Central Intelligence Agency (CIA) that began in the early 50s and attempted to manipulate news media. Okay? This is since in the 1950s. Okay? Remember, remember, how you doing? Remember what the Joker was saying. These people, and Joker was against that. He was like, they're telling you what to think, how to do, what to do. Okay? So he was against that. He was showing the real deal. Like, yo, there's chaos going on, but they're covering it up. I'm here to let you see this is real. And don't feel bad about feeling good about a certain thing. Now that we got that, we got Project Mockingbird. So you'll do more research. Yeah, go ahead. So you do the research deeper on that. Now let's pull up the um Monarch. Should I pull up the Monarch project first? What's the first one I should pull up?
Mockingbird.
Nah, I pull up Mockingbird. Let me pull up the Monarch. Cause that one is where it really it gets heavy. And when you watch the movie Silence of the Lambs, Silence of the Lambs is also talking on the Monarch project. Look up a lady named Kathy O'Brien, capital O, then capital Brien. Okay, she was part of the program. Huh? I'm sorry. Okay, she was part of the program. Okay, she was part of the program. MK Ultra. That one sounds more familiar to you. Project MK Ultra. So you got project. You got the Monarch project. That's what the butterfly. Look up what a monarch is. That's the butterfly. That's why I always watch carefully of chicks that have butterfly tattoos. I spoke about this a long time ago in a live stream, and it was making these chicks sex slave because they was using that as the trauma from them from a child, and it was putting them through the trauma and making them assassins. And they like to use women particularly because the women would make the best assassins. Even in the Nigerian candidate, they talked about that the men have a chemical basically that snaps them out of it because men are more what logical. So when you have somebody like the Joker that snaps, that embrace that side, and some people will be like, "Yo, he moved type feminine like at times." No, he's getting both dualities and he's tapping in. Watch the Joker movie, people. That's all I got to say on it. Yes, Miss B, the movie is good. Joker has what? What's this? Joel has my order dispatch. A matter of fact, the perfect person right here. Yes,
Is
because
this
you're supposed to
Miss?
say yes.
Yes,
Let
her
Miss
order.
B know her order got sent.
Yeah, it got
Yes.
sent out. Yes, it got sent out.
Yes, and you'll give me the shipping information in a few minutes.
Of course.
Thank you. Say what you gotta say. Go
So,
ahead.
if you watch the movie like me and Joel did, if you see how he laughed from the beginning of the game to the end, every time he stepped deeper and deeper into his new personality, I
You
like
mean
to
the
say,
movie?
yeah, Joker himself stepped deeper and deeper into his new personality. His voice got more demonic, high pitched,
Yeah.
and very, very unstable. His last was like a simple. Then he fell off. He fell off. He just started being very unstable of a human being.
Before he was only laughing like that when he would get nervous,
He got nervous, yes.
because that was the condition.
Hmm.
But
But
the
when that,
condition was that entity.
hmm it's like when you have your spiritual wall, you have your wall up, right? Everything is fine. Once the wall is gone, everything just start running through for freely.
Now, Sergio mentioned a very good point. Joker only killed when he had
The makeup.
the makeup on.
Why is that?
But did he when he was in there with his moms, he had the makeup on, right?
Yeah, he with the
Yeah.
yeah,
And that's why he was there and he would paint his face. When he was painting his face, I knew it was about to be a rap. It was lit. Because that was the ego. That was that alter ego that was like, yo, I'm here. This is how I look. No different from when the people like to dye their hair
Yeah, you have a
and
second alter ego.
pierce their nose. They want you to see this is them.
Oh, like for example, this is off topic. You know, drag, like the whole drag concept.
Yes.
People have two sides of them. This doesn't mean nothing.
No,
off
that's a very
topic,
good point.
but the drag, the
That's a
whole
very good
drag
point. Touch on
concept
that.
of you turning to someone else, you're legitimately turning into something else or someone else. Now
Voice
with that,
change,
your
appearance change.
voice, your chain, like if I look at you as Stefan, hey Stefan, you regular dude. Now I look at you as Stephanie. It's a whole different type of atmosphere, like demeanor. It's almost like Joker. Once he had the makeup on, once he had colored his hair green, you're wild. You're free. You're at the point of your life where you're able to do whatever you want to do without any, how to say, backlash, any confusion from anyone else. This is why when he got invited on the show, remember this now. When he got invited on the show twice, it's two times he got invited on the show. Look at him the first time, look at him the second time. Think about that when right there. And also look at when somebody already says already the whole step montage coming up the steps and then coming back down the steps. It's a lot of things you could see when he's not himself, when he is his regular self versus when he's the Joker. So there's a lot of good things about that movie. That movie shows a lot, and it's honestly, if you don't understand that movie, sit down and just watch it over and over again. It's worth it, big time worth it.
Listen, if you haven't seen the movie yet, shame on your ass.
Uh,
I'm gonna tell you straight up, especially if you're into the spiritual aspect of things. It's lit, people. It's lit. It's lit. Um, Jade, Jade and Jazzy Mom says all the heroes suffered trauma. Facts. That's exactly what I said earlier. Lovely Spice One, what's up? Um, Lloyd Bake, what's up? I see you up in here. Speak on Joshua Brown, Dallas Police. Yeah, that live stream is coming. That's gonna be coming with me and Brother Divine. We're gonna touch on that definitely. Um, Beauty and All says Joker. Just oh,
Joker just a
Coconut Rob special right here. Let the people see Coconut Rob. Say
This is
hello to the people.
what's up, people? Everything is good. I'm at the Healing Circle today, doing what we do.
What's this?
This is a cashew and pistachio with cane and ginger.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
God damn.
now. Let me
Just
touch
in
this one
time for
real
me
quick.
breaking my fast.
Let me touch this one real quick. Joker, Jester, Clown. What do all three of them have in common?
They all are meant to make you laugh.
And what do they all wear?
Makeup.
And a mask. So that
Yeah,
means you
the
always
make-
cut the
the
makeup.
cover
Yeah,
up,
it's a
the
cover up.
mask.
So think about it.
Now here we go. Now we getting deep. Yep. Takashi Joker.
Why?
No coincidence.
Just why?
Yeah,
Can we talk? Like why?
yeah. You see the tattoo he have on his face, right? The clown from Saw.
And
I'm gonna leave that one alone.
I'm gonna tap onto that one. Remember a 6 and a 9? You reverse them. They look like the same number. One's another. One's a 9. One's a 6. One's a hit person and one's a thing.
It goes deep, people. When you see these people come out, and then I don't really want to go into Takashi, but you took it there. When he sat on the stand and your man is snitching, he just letting everything out. And he letting you know, I'm coming out. He letting you know, I'm coming out. And I don't need no witness protection. He's letting you know that. But he's essentially doing letting you all know everybody else is soft. Nobody's gonna touch me. I was to watch the Joker movie. It's funny how his attitude was. And he had a huge influence. Have you ever seen a Takashi concert, the way how he moved that crowd, controls that cloud, that clout that he has? He got that clout. Let's be real. The Joker movie, go check it out, people. It's an awesome deep movie. You have to look deeper and guess what's there. I realize mental illness is serious, and this spirituality of entities being out there is even more serious. Okay? Any questions? Let's get it in real quick. This coconut rob is good. Very good. Ask your questions now, people.
Excuse me. Do you know like the boy necklace?
That young man will help you right there. No questions. You can wrap it up. Salute to the international audience. Salute to the domestic. Joel Benjamin, 528. All right. I guess right now I should be out. Later, people. Go watch that Joker movie. Stop playing yourself. All right. London in the house. Salute to you. Salute to y'all out there in London. Okay. Let me see. The history says the jester was possessed. Ah. See?
Increments.
I'm telling you, there's something deep to this when it comes to the Joker. It's I just don't want to spoil the movie for y'all totally. That's why I ain't tell y'all so much that I really want to tell you. Go watch the movie and you'll get a better understanding. Peace.